Okay, what's going on, guys, and welcome to a brand new episode of Energized. Today we have a very special guest on the show.
We have former Cage Warriors champion Paddy Pimblett live from his kitchen, fresh off a workout. Paddy, how you doing?
What is happening, the lads? How are we?
Good. How's that isolation life in Liverpool?
It's all right, like, you know what I mean? I think of worse places to be isolated, but I'd rather be isolated in Thailand 10 weeks ago.
Yeah, that sounds a bit sexier.
Yeah.
Paddy, tell us, how did you get started off in mixed martial arts?
Well, to be honest, one of the lads in the youth around the corner, he was one of my mates growing up. He started to watch it, and I can remember him in the youth, he put on Diego Sanchez versus Clay Guida.
Oh my God.
I was like 14. He was like 14, lad, and he just come out and started, and we were all just like, this is sick. And then I can remember staying up and watching UFC 103, Belfort versus Franklin. And Belfort bingoed them, and then I went on a run at like 5:30 in the morning. Just must have looked like a proper weirdo. And then I just decided to go. I went in 2010, just not long after my birthday, when I was turning 15.
Yeah. Did you do any other sports growing up as well? Because I hear you're an avid Liverpool fan. No?
Yeah, I played footy, but I was shit. I was good when I was about 9, 10, and then I just stayed that level, and I'm only a little bit better than that now.
That sounds like me.
Yeah, I'm shite at footy, lad. Fucking play footy with the lads for the laugh and that, but like the only other sport that I was alright at in my life was tennis and table tennis, but you have to be playing that from when you're about 3 years of age to be good at it. So when I first done MMA, I didn't think it was going to go this far. You know what I mean? I just started doing it. Just someone told me about Next Gen through Joe Neal, and then I just went and fell in love with it.
Yeah, how long were you there for and then you started realizing, wow, I can go far in this?
Well, it was like 15 months in when I had my first fight when I was 16. It's one of the lads in the gym pulled out a week before with an ankle injury. Yeah. So I jumped in. And
what weight class was that at?
Bantam.
The bantamweight, yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah, and I had to lose about 1 kilo in a week. You know what I mean? One of them.
Yeah.
And I never even thought it would get me that far when I was an amateur. You know what I mean? I was amateur, and then I fought heavy on amateur. And Paul just said to me, "Do you want to go pro? Because you've got no one else to fight." So I said, "Yeah." And then I went for no pro. Then on my first loss, and then it was before that Sheridan fight. I was thinking, "Oh, am I going to make enough money doing this and that?" So me with the mates were in and doing other stuff. I'm just like, Paul, I don't know how to do this. And then Paul said, just start working in the gym. So I started working in the gym and got me better and better. And then obviously after I fought like Grimshaw and Teddy Violet, everything just blew up, and it's the way that it is now. Yeah.
What was the real blow up moment for you, Paddy? Because like obviously you'd be the most recognizable person in Cage Warriors, and like when was that real moment that it just really blew up for you?
Liverpool was like a hotbed for MMA about 10 years ago for like the amateur scene, and then went to Cage Warriors, and I've done a few interviews and that. But then like when I won on Cage Warriors, and then the thing happened with Cage Warriors where there was no fights for a while, I went and fought on FCC.
Yeah.
And I was selling loads of tickets for FCC. Everyone was made up with me on FCC, and then Grimshaw, that was like my first one where people thought, "Oh, we'll see if he's a hype job or not." You know what I mean? So like, I fought him and beat him.
Yeah.
And then when I fought Teddy Violet, lad, and said Scousers don't get knocked out, that was when everything just went bananas.
Yeah. Oh man, yeah. Man, like what sort of like feedback or support were you getting from the Liverpoolians?
I think the only way I can compare it's like the Irish fans with the Irish fighters. You know what I mean? That's I wouldn't say there's any other sport in the world like it.
In fairness, Pat, you've blown the roof off the Echo a few times now, haven't you?
Yeah, I've headlined the Echo a few times. Like I won the belt there, and then I've won by flying triangle twice there, and I've lost 2 5-round decisions there.
But Paddy, it's mad to think that you won the belt. What? Well, you're 21, I think, at the time.
Yeah, 21.
And like you've had 12 or 13 fights in Cage Warriors alone. Like you know what I mean? Like you're actually so experienced for someone your age.
Yeah.
I've only had 5 fights outside the Cage Warriors. My first 3, and then the 2 on FCC. So yeah, 13 fights on Cage Warriors.
And did you almost become the champion too soon and too earlier in career? Like, getting ready for those 5-round fights is very different for getting ready for a 3-round fight. Like, that must have taken a massive toll on you.
Yeah, it does, especially when you're fucking cutting 8 kilos overnight to make 66. That's when it's doing the damage.
And in terms of weight class now, are you set at lightweight now, or?
I am for now, yeah. When I fought the featherweight all them years ago, I was very unprofessional, you know what I mean? I wasn't doing everything by the book like I should have. I was arsing around and that. So the last time I weighed, I cut like 3 kilo, 3.5 when I fought Decky. But when I was meant to fight Giannetti, I only cut about 1 kilo, literally in the back. So I could have made featherweight that night. If I would have known that Steve Hannibal was going to miss weight, you never know. I might have went to 145 and thought, man's been out for the belt.
Yeah. Like, obviously, it's been well publicized that, like, you've turned down the opportunity to fight in the UFC a couple of times. When you first got that call, well, like, what weight division was it at, and what was the main thing that made you turn it down?
It was going to be featherweight, wasn't it? Because it was as soon as me and Fishy had won the belt, because they come back in, the UFC come in to sign both of us.
Yeah.
But then Cage Warriors give us both bumper new deals, you know what I mean? Big ones.
Yeah.
So we stayed with Cage Warriors, you know what I mean? And I don't regret it, because I look back now and think if I would have went to the UFC when I was 21, I probably would have got me head punched in.
That's the thing, man. Like, some people, like, just jump at the bit when they have that huge opportunity. And, like, you actually, like, stood your ground. Like, you know what, I'm just going to keep home my craft and keep going and going and going. Because
there's a few UK MMA guys who went in the UFC and had about 2 or 3 fights, or 4 fights, went like 1-3 or 1-2 or 2-2, and then you're being cut, you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Like obviously, you would, like, if that could have happened to you, then, like, I wouldn't say you'd be washed up, but, like, people would be like, oh,
that's
he
what
could have done this.
Say, though.
Yeah, no, yeah, but that's the thing.
You know what I mean?
So, like, being smart about it was a brilliant idea. Like, who did you just come up with that yourself, or did your team be like, here, do you know what? There's big things to come from you. Like, why not hold back a bit and then, like, let yourself go until you start hitting like 26, 27. Boom, you're like, you have your man strength. You're like ready to rock and roll, really, you know?
Yeah, Paul's a big part in that, you know what I mean? And so's Graham as well. But then, like, my team, you know what I mean? It's mainly my team and my family. Even my family, they don't know much about MMA, but they care about me. So they said stick with Cage Warriors for the bit, because, like I said, they give me a bumper new deal. It's like, it's UFC.
Yeah, because
that is one thing that Graham Boylan seems to be doing very, very well. He seems to be really looking after people in Cage Warriors, and he's still chomping at the bit to try and get Cage Warriors back up and running for an event. And obviously, Paddy, you're probably the most experienced fighter in the world fighting on a big show in either an empty or small arena, because you did the BT Sports Arena against Arosa, and you fought at 113. I don't know anyone else who's fought in those circumstances twice.
You're not wrong there. Like, there's 2 fights there, and mad. It's weird. Like, I'm not gonna lie, but if there was a lightweight that wanted to fight at, like, say 70, I don't even know if I'd make 77 in a few weeks' notice, lad. I don't know. Well, if someone wants to catch weight at 80 kg, you normally fights at lightweight in game.
if someone else has put on the COVID weight and wants to give Paddy Pimblett an old knock, he's game ball for it. And tell us about the lightweight division. Mason Jones is looking very, very good up there. How do you see yourself matching up against him?
Well, no, what, to be honest, he was in the changes with me for the last fight. He's a nice lad. You know what I mean? I was speaking to him. We wished each other luck on that. Although I'm not going to say nothing bad about him, but obviously I think I'd beat him, lad. Just like, I think I'd beat anyone. I think I'd beat Mason. His striking's good, but no one's seen my striking recently. Like, I haven't, as you know, I haven't fought. That the other week doesn't even count. That I was standing for about 15 seconds. Got it with a left hook and hit him with a 1-2, and then fucking ended up on top of him.
Yeah.
And so like 18. I know it was our ass on him. I'd have fell for him, but like, people underestimate my striking still, which I love. And then I know for the fact that if I took Mason down, I would be able to shoot him.
Yeah, well, in fairness, I wouldn't doubt you. You're an absolute phenom on the ground, and obviously that's where your sort of strong point would be to most people. But if you were to sort of rank 50% ground game, 50% stand up, where would you rank it? Would you say 60% you're better on the ground, 40% stand up, or where would you put it?
Yeah, I'd say about 60% ground, 65% ground, 40% stand up.
And have you heard from Cage Warriors on whether they will have a show in an empty arena? Another one.
We really don't know because they've pushed a few shows back, haven't they?
The
only thing is at the minute, how can we fight if we can't train?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I'm not asked. Like if someone else is like in the position where I'm in, where they've only been able to use a rower and it's a bag and fucking run and do shit like that, and they want to fight lad and get paid, I'll do it with them. But it's an even playing field.
Yeah, I also saw that Cage Warriors put out that video of like all the fighters and nearly all the fighters in the roster doing the punch and then reacting. First of all, what a brilliant video! But you can really see how much of a push you're getting, Paddy, being the first person on the video. You know.
That's people think that, lad. They think that, but I'm just glad I never had to take a shot, lad. I'm just there, like
the only one not to take a shot.
Yeah, but taking a shot on it.
Yeah, the face that runs the place. That's Paddy Pimblett, what?
Yeah, lad, it is a belt to that video, though, lad. A belt, though. I was watching it myself. I showed me man and all that. I was like, yeah, this is a fucking belter.
Yeah, it's brilliant. Who was it? Ian Gary and Oban Elliott were there having a virtual fight on it as well before. Did you see that one?
Yeah, I like Ian and Oban, lad. I speak to the pair of them sometimes, lad, the sound.
Yeah, good banter.
Is there anyone in the Cage Warriors who does not like Ian Gary?
No, to be honest, he is a cool cat. Like, he was there at the weigh-in when I was meant to fight Giannetti. He was just stood next to me, laughing his head off. Like me and having a back and forth with him, he was just laughing his head off.
No,
I always ask like Ian because like he's a good friend of the show, and I'm like, watching them, and goes, I was only texting him yesterday. I texted him last night. Do you ever text Ian Gary? Because he seems to text everyone. He's never off the phone.
Instant message we do.
Yeah. No, that's absolutely brilliant. And Paddy, obviously, your end goal is probably to move towards the UFC. I know you've turned it down, but I assume you will move there eventually.
Yeah, of course. It's like it's the main thing in MMA, isn't it, lads? Fucking like playing in the Champions League for a footballer.
And then, how do you feel like you stack up against those guys in the UFC?
I think I can beat anyone on my day. That's simple. Anyone in the whole fucking roster, never mind what division.
Would you fancy yourself against Khabib?
You can't say no, can I, lads? That's simple. That's fucking. I wouldn't put it that way. I wouldn't fucking tap to a neck crank.
Oh, it's a little bit of shade for Conor.
I wouldn't choke to a neck crank.
Paddy, that confidence is unbelievable. You know that, man. Like, obviously, you blew up there, and then just watching your work. I know, obviously, you were out for a year, but like having that confidence is just so needed in this game. Like, I mean, we had Ian on, and he has like the confidence to burn, and like all the fighters, like you just have to do it. If you don't back yourself, you shouldn't be in the game, really. But
exactly,
like when you're
if you're not your own fucking biggest believer, lad, you're in the wrong game.
Yeah, because we've loads of people that follow MMA, rugby, football, everything, and like getting people on like yourself who have that mind frame and attitude. Like people that watch the shows, they may not be athletes, but they can put that into like the work or the workouts or any sort of part of their life, you know. And it's just it's cool, really good thing to see. But like you were obviously off for over a year, and during that year, what were you sort of doing? Were you looking at yourself? What were you trying to like improve on, or even your mindset? Like, what were you sort of doing in that year, like, or reflecting on what you could do? I don't know.
Well, the 1st of September, didn't I? And then I wanted to just fucking brush it away and get a fight in straight away in November, so I could forget about that fight against Desmay the first time. And then we were just looking at my hand and stuff. And we were just like, "You've broken it again. You can't fight," and that. So the NHS then took the piss with me operation. I didn't get that till May. So I was still training that. I was still doing stuff, but it just wasn't the same. And I didn't have like nothing to focus on. And my head fell off, lad. It was just in a bad way. And then when I got the operation, everything was worse again, lad, because I couldn't do absolutely nothing for a bit. I had to just fucking leave it like I never done that. And I started having all other stuff like health problems because of infections, lad, in my wrist. where they hadn't put the caster on properly, and I had all goo coming out of my wrist, lad, and having to go to the Aussie. It was fucking horrible, lad. People think it was just a broken wrist, lad. They ended up having pure infections and all shit like that. Yeah, right there, let's see if you can see my wrist. Can you see a scar on that?
Yeah, I can, yeah.
There's that scar from one side, and then the second time they went in there.
Fucking hell, man.
Jeez, that's all,
but like, obviously, see, the thing is about
bolt marks and that way they had a bolt. It come up mad. The way you mentioned that, it come up on my timer a year ago yesterday, of me and the Aussie looking and like I'm moving my hand like that, and where the pins are keeping it in place, the pins are moving, and all yellow crust was moving with the pin, where it was all crazy infections in and that. And obviously that made me depressed, lad. I was fucking suicidal, lad. My head was chocker.
Yeah. Well, you see, that's another thing. Like, people watch the glory, the entrances, the celebrations, but then...
And you think that's it?
Yeah, but then what about the guys on the ground? Like, what about the, like, going back to hospitals and all this stuff? And then, like, obviously being out for a year, and then people, like, will constantly be like... I bet you the question you get asked, when are you going to the UFC, is like, when's your next fight? When's your next fight? When's your next fight? It's never like...
Lad,
how was the last fight? You know?
Someone asked me the day after the most annoying question you get. I think it was Lydia, and I was like, "When are you going to UFC?" Lad, it's the most annoying question ever, lad. When are you going to UFC? I'm like, lad, sitting down twice. Oh, you messing you, lad? You never do some. Oh, Sean, lad, sweet. You're the expert. See you after.
Yeah, but like, Paddy, what you just brought up there about mental health as well, like. You're really like creating your own sort of line, like, you know what I mean? You had the opportunity to go to UFC at 21. You're like, look, I'm not ready yet. Like, if I know they'll come calling again, I'm gonna just march to the beat of my own drum. And now like they're very, very experienced. Like, this like, if the risk situation didn't happen, who knows what situation would be in right now. But like, for people like watching now and like knowing that like you didn't just jump at that chance, because if you could have, they could have thrown you into the lions, and then who would have known what happened. But like, for people watching now, like taking that time to relax and being like, right, I'm actually just going to take my time with this. This is my career. I'm not going to rush it. I'm going to take it in my own footsteps. Also, bearing with the mental health stuff at the end of the day, like, what would you have to say to people that are just sort of watching now? Because like, you're a big figure in the company, and I'm sure people watching this now are like, one day I want to be like Paddy, you know?
See, that I do love people to like take motivation, inspiration and stuff like that, but I just see myself as a normal kid, lad.
Yeah, but like, you're gonna have to accept you're bigger than just a normal kid, you know? You're selling out the echoes, and like, it's not like, not a normal kid just does that.
I don't like to fucking be big headed and shit, lad. People say to me, "Oh, you're a celebrity." I'm like, lad, I'm not. I'm not.
You're like the fifth Beatle.
Yeah, that's a admit to that one. A few people have said that. I'll be the fifth Beatle all day. The fifth and shout, lad, with a gang of Nickies, but celebrity and that, no.
Yeah, no, but okay, wipe the celebrity thing away, but just being like a brilliant athlete, like, what would you say to people that are like, they're overcome a loss, like being out for a year, like that sort of stuff, you know, taking their time to actually really get ready to go into the UFC? Because obviously, you mentioned Gary earlier, he was dying to get on UFC Dublin card, but like, now he's like taking time to reflect and be like, look, my time will come. It doesn't need to be right now. It will come. Like,
it's the worst thing you can do in them situations is just think negative and just be negative. And that's what I did for a few months. Just thinking, oh my God, I'm never going to fight again. My wrist's never going to be the same. I'm going to be this, I'm going to be that. People are saying this about me, the right, you know what I mean? And you've just got to be like, fuck them. Fuck what they think. You've got to think about yourself and think about what the people who care about you think. That's all that matters. Your family, your friends, your team. What everyone else says doesn't mean shit. What the people around you who care about you say means stuff. And that's what I got from it. Because you realise who your real mates were as well. You realise the Klingons and that.
Who was really there for you?
Paddy, who was really there for you. That's what I figured out over the past 18 months. And I'll be honest, I'm glad it's happened. There's a lot's fucking happened. It's made me realise the people who were there for me in a while.
Yeah, who's really there for you?
Obviously, me family, me fiance, all me fucking proper mates. You know what I mean? Then all my teammates, and I don't even call them teammates anymore. I call them my gym family. You know what I mean? So I was like my second dad.
That's great.
Fair play to Paddy. You know what I mean? Like, I suppose overcoming, you know, stuff is always what makes the story better in the long run. And when you do, you know, leave your gloves in the octagon, you know what I mean? You can say, Paddy Pimblett, what a story, you know what I mean? And like, having that been out for a year was definitely part of that story.
Yeah, I've always said that. Know what I mean? I've mentioned it with my wrist. All the greats have had to come over it at injury and change the style of fighting to do it and to win a different way. And that's what I'm gonna do. Sometimes I won't, like I've done it in the Decky fight. I didn't rely on my wrist to go for the choke. I flattened him out and I fucking punched his head until the ref stopped it.
Yeah. Let me ask you a non-MMA related question. What do you think is going to happen with your beloved Liverpool with the Premier League?
Been getting asked this a lot, lads.
Yeah.
It's getting finished.
Yeah.
It's getting finished.
What's getting finished more? The Premier
too much money at stake.
What's getting finished more? Decky Dalton or the Premier League?
The Premier League. I never knocked them clean out. The Premier League.
I think.
You see much does that with the French league?
Yeah, they crowned PSG champions, didn't they?
PSG champions and that, yeah, and give Champions League spaces out.
I think they were waiting for someone else to do that, weren't they?
Yeah, waiting for someone else to do that. But I think if that dickhead who's in number fucking 10 says that they can do it behind closed doors, then they're gonna do it. They're gonna finish it.
How do you feel about that? Like, obviously they're gonna win the league in an empty stadium.
It's not going to be too bad because we do it in an empty stadium this year, and then next year we do it in a full one.
Oh,
loads of confidence.
Confident man. Who's your favourite player there, actually?
Yeah. Who's what?
Who's your favourite player there?
Lad, I fucking obviously Trent's a scouser, isn't he? But then you've got Robbo, who was just one of the lads, was fucking playing in a Division fucking 2 team or something, putting on Facebook about 7 years ago. Who's got a noble job for me. Yeah. But then I like Fabinho, and Salah. Not Salah, Mane being our best player this season. And Henderson, you can't forget about him, lad. I used to call Henderson Horrenderson because he used to be that shit. And now, lad, he's just fucking a different player. It's weird.
Yeah, it's amazing what hard work and dedication does. But,
don't forget about Van Dijk, Alisson and Firmino because he hadn't named anyone else. The rest of them in the team. And
Gini, lad.
Yeah.
And then Gomez, lad. If Gomez was playing against Watford, lad, we wouldn't have lost.
You also go to a good few of the games, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you been?
Who do you support?
Both Everton fans.
What?
No, I'm only joking. United.
United. I was gonna say. Well, I went to Old Trafford this year, and I went to Anfield when we fucking slapped you.
Oh, man. You don't need to rub it in, man. We're having a good conversation now. Just rubbing it in.
I put a picture up of it the other night, actually, because the sky, did you see the sky that night? The sky was like a red colour.
Yeah.
And like a top.
Yeah, we saw it in Anfield.
Yeah.
Yeah, we saw that. Yeah, when they beat United.
Would actually fighting in Anfield, would that be one of your biggest goals?
Yeah, that's someone asked you that the other day. Where's your dream place to fight? And I know people say the GM and people say New York and that, but obviously for me it's Anfield.
Would you let Darren Till fight on the card?
What?
Or would you let Darren Till fight on the card as well?
If he wants to jump on, lad, yeah.
Paddy man, I think that's like a brilliant way to finish it. But honestly, like watching you go, like going through everything, it's a great story to follow, man. Especially over here. But we're gonna have to get you on again in the build to your next fight, you know.
Well, yeah, you know what though you were saying about be a good watch, lad. Just after I fought back, someone, Tim Crawford, is now a friend of mine, started coming to the gym and videoing me and coming to my house and stuff and video a little bit of training. And now he's been videoing me for about 18 months now.
Yeah.
And like, he's going to start doing more and more footage of that and put it forward to someone. And hopefully in the future, lad, that's going to be like that McGregor documentary what the Irish lads done.
That's great.
Paddy Pimblett, the fifth wheel. That's what they'll call the documentary.
You know.
Molly McCann's also getting loads of footage as well. That's brilliant to see. But here, Paddy, keep going, man. Like, I'm sure some people who've tuned in now, like, I just listened to your story there, like, coming to your overcoming adversity and stuff, man. It's brilliant to see. And just stay strong and just keep going, man. We're proud of you, you know that?
Thank you, fella. Legend.
So if you enjoyed the show, make sure to like, share, subscribe, and as always,
stay energized.